Suzanne Lenglen was an international tennis star that emerged after World War I. She won 2 gold medals in the Olympics of 1920. She also won 6 French Open singles and 6 Wimbledon titles. Lenglen was very flashy, always dressing in furs, short skirts, sleeveless shirts, and she also used cosmetics. Suzanne openly drank at her tennis matches and had open love affairs. She also had become the first professional women's tennis player in 1926. World War I began in 1914, beginning just in time to put a hold on Suzanne Lenglen's tennis career. The war did not only change Lenglen's life, but the lives of women all around the world. While the men were leaving to fight in the war, there were higher-paying job opportunities opening up in the job market for women. The 8 million women that were already in the workforce saw their chance to change from domestic service to higher-paying industrial jobs such as train engineers, streetcar operators, and mail carriers. Even though women were working in the same industries as men, a government survey showed that the average wage of a woman was half that of a man's. Because of this discrimination, the Labor Department created the Women in Industry Service, also known as the WIS. The WIS attempted to standardize the 8-hour workday, equal pay for equal work, a minimum wage, meal breaks, and resting breaks. Women faced further discrimination when the men returned from war and the women lost almost all of their defense-related jobs. This discrimination was not limited to women in the defensive workforce. Suzanne Lenglen knew this kind of discrimination all too well. Professional athletes were not accepted by the public, so all athletes were paid under the table. Suzanne's father, for example, would bet the clubs that Suzanne was going to play at that she would show up, and when she would, the club would pay her father the sum they owed for the lost bet. While it took some time for players to become open about their professionalism, Lenglen had become the first woman to openly embrace it. She was scrutinized for her decision to go pro from the media. Lenglen did not take this well, openly stating, "In the 12 years I have been champion, I have earned literally millions of francs for tennis and have paid thousands of francs in entrance fees to be allowed to do so. I have worked as hard at my career as any man or woman has worked at any career, and in my whole lifetime I have not earned $5,000, not 1 cent of that by my specialty, my life study, tennis. I am 27 and not wealthy. Should I embark on any other career and leave the one for which I have people call me a genius, or should I smile at the prospect of actual poverty and continue to earn a fortune? For whom?" Lenglen's displeasure with the way the tennis community was run was obvious. With her decision to go professional was Lenglen's way of demanding a fair share of the money that she was bringing into the clubs. Even when Suzanne became an open professional, she was still not making as much money as the male professional tennis players of her time. She was the headline of the tour, and Lenglen could not understand why she would not be paid as much as the men. In addition to the changing roles in the workforce, there were changes being made in the social aspect of lives. The everyday woman's attire was changing, with her changing her role in society. Some of the jobs that women were working in required them to wear uniforms and trousers. Another change in women's social lives was the expanded use of the automobile. The automobile gave young adults more freedom with the ease of transportation. Prior to this, couples would eat supper with the woman's family with no alone time. Now the automobile had revolutionized how young people would date. They began to go out on unsupervised dates to the movies and bowling. Suzanne Lenglen was representative of these changes in society. She played tennis in short skirts and sleeveless shirts. She was viewed as a very sexual, since it was unusual at the time for women to be showing so much skin. Suzanne also brought sexuality to tennis through her style of play. She was an aggressive player who was acrobatic and would lunge after tennis balls. In her shorter skirts, there was little left to the imagination for the spectators. Lenglen was also known for always looking glamorous on the tennis courts. She wore furs, sometimes even while playing, and was always dolled up wearing nail polish and other cosmetics. Suzanne also was known for her open love affairs. She was reported to be engaged 24 times, but she told reporters that in 20 cases she had never even had the pleasure of meeting the man that she was supposedly engaged to. Suzanne Lenglen was representative of all things happening to women after World War I. Although she was not affected by the war in the same ways that other women were, she was still fighting for the same things. Suzanne wanted to be paid for the service she provided, like the women in the WIS. She also was an illustrative figure for the changing social class with her scandalous outfits and acknowledged love affairs. Suzanne Lenglen is only one woman we can look at to see the changing role of women in the 1920s.